Hey guys, since a lot of you wanted me to do a review on the Pretty Little Liars Halloween episode that aired this past Tuesday, I decided to quickly get this out of the way. So, yeah guys, I'm back for, the time being. So let's get into it. I have decided to talk about the things that kind of stood out to me. I'm not going to give you a full step-by-step kind of a thing, just what I thought. Basically. So, the girls, as we know, they're in Ravenswood, and of course, Hannah already getting on my last nerve, talking about going up to somebody and seeing what's going on. I'm like, Hannah, you gotta be a little bit more stealthy here, okay, honey? You need to just think things through a little bit better. Now, there are these weird looking, little twins that are kind of, you can't see their faces, and they're trying to, I guess Hannah wants to find out who they are, but then they disappear, and then what's her name? Is her name Miss Grunwald? Am I pronouncing that correctly? I don't think I am, but she is the creepy old lady that scares the mess out of me, and she grabs Emily and wants to know what the heck is going on, and the girls are outside, and then they see Redcoat, or whoever is in the red coat, basically run into, I think it was a mausoleum, I'm not 100% sure, but then literally, guys, they were right behind her, and then she disappeared. But then they found a kind of secret door, sliding door. It was like a sliding statue, but then they walk down into this, I don't know what you want to really call it. I'll say they walk into the ground in a way, but it's like a tunnel. Okay, there you go. The next thing you know, the wind picks up and it's getting really, really crazy, and the girls form like a human chain and they're holding on. And the next thing we know, Hannah disappears. Now, this is one thing I don't get about this episode. Hannah's screaming. The girls are screaming. And you guys hear it echo? How could they not hear each other? Were they just that far apart in the tunnel or whatever? But anyway, Hannah eventually comes across it kind of reminded me of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Do you guys remember where it was up on the wall and it was written in like blood and stuff? I'm not saying it was necessarily blood, but Hannah comes across a message in red that says, "Help me," basically. And then Hannah ends up going into the house that's connected to like the underground tunnel. I don't even want to call it a tunnel anymore. I guess you could call it like a maze in a way. I'm not sure, but she goes into this really creepy house. She goes into a phone booth, and of course somebody comes up and shuts the door behind her. She can't get out. Then she sees these bright lights. It kind of looks like just very, very creepy bright lights, and then all of a sudden they like disappear. And before I get into this next part, Caleb, he meets this new girl, and you can tell that there's some serious flirtation going on. And I was like, Caleb, don't do it, although she was the one doing most of the flirting. And then he mentions his girlfriend and stuff, and then she walks into the house that she thinks is her uncle's, from what she can remember, finds Hannah, and then it's kind of like comes to her like, oh, you're his girlfriend? Well, okay. And I'm just like, girl, don't even go there right now. But anyway, Spencer, Aria, and Emily are still looking for Hannah frantically, and then they finally get into like the house portion of everything, and Spencer comes across who I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that it was Ezra, and basically they get into like this big little fight and everything, and he ends up knocking Spencer out, which made me so mad because I was like, Spencer, you had him. All you had to do was whack him across the head one last time to make sure he was really knocked out. Then you could have removed the gas mask and really see who it was. But anyway, eventually Hannah does get out of the house. She finds Caleb. The girls eventually do get out of the house also. And they talk a little bit, and eventually they do see Redcoat again. They finally catch up to her. She turns around. It's Allison. Allison is still alive, supposedly. And I say supposedly for a reason because, now, guys, I haven't read the books, but I have read some spoilers, so I'm not going to get into that for those of you who don't know. But then again, I'm not sure if the show is going to carry on with that, so I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. But anyway, she was like, do you miss me? And she explained that, she wants to come home, but under the circumstances, she can't. and then you see some headlights, and next thing you know, Ezra shows up because Arya left her phone with him, and then they turn around and Allison is gone, basically. Now, this show is now connected with Ravenswood because Hannah wants Caleb to stay and watch over, I forgot her name, I don't feel like looking it up, the new girl. And as they're there, she notices that there's a gravestone with her name on it, and Caleb notices that there's a gravestone with his name on it. So then that's the connection between Pretty Little Liars and Ravenswood. And I did not watch Ravenswood. I probably watched like the first minute of it, and then I kind of turned off the TV because I needed to study for something. But that's the review. Now my opinion, very, very quickly. Guys, don't judge me. I am a big scaredy cat. If anyone knows me, they know I am. Like, I have my blanket around me because I was, like, freaking out. And I just don't do scary very well. Even though this episode wasn't, it was suspenseful, like, very suspenseful. And that was enough for me to, like, be a little nervous and a little bit like, oh, what's going to happen next? But other than that, the episode was really, really good. The girls were looking great in those outfits. Were they not? I was like, y'all got some serious cleavage busting out, boo-boos. Work, yes. I thought Emily's outfit was super, super adorable. And, I forgot to mention one of my favorite lines from the show. When the girls had to go change attire, Arya, I think it was Arya. It was either Arya or Spencer. They suggested Emily change it, and she was like, why, because I'm gay? And Arya was like, no, because you're the most sporty one. I was like, poor Emily. I probably would have asked Emily to help me change a tire too. I'm just saying. So, of course, big shocker. We already knew pretty much from last season that Allison is still alive because Miss G, I'll just call her Miss G, mentioned that she was the one who pulled Allison out of the dirt, and she was taking her to the hospital, and Allison disappeared. And, also, she mentions to Spencer, Emily, and Arya that, she can sense that one of them has been touched by the person that Allison fears. Remember, Spencer was the one that got into that physical altercation and got herself knocked out because she wasn't smart enough to knock him out fully. But my point is, I think I got everything. Yeah, I think I did. I remember telling you guys that I may not be able to do reviews for the next season. That's still up in the air at this point. I will definitely keep you guys updated. I may not be able to, but if I do, I'll try to get those reviews out as quickly as possible so you guys aren't waiting 10 years for me to do a video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you all later. Take care.